Hello and welcome in the practical JavaScript session. So here in this particular session, we'll be talking about that how you can get the data from input. And in the previous sessions, as you have seen that we were dealing with the issue list object, and this issue list object we were directly accessing onto the console, right? Now from here, what basically you will be trying to understand that how your user interface will be interacting with the issue list object, right? So here I would like to talk about two things. One is the handlers object and another is the user stories. So basically this particular session will be divided into two videos. One is going to be this one where I will be talking about handlers object, and another is going to be the user stories related things. Okay, so let us discuss about the handlers object first. So for that, let me just open my code, and now from here let us understand. So as you can see over here, see in the last session what we have done, we had created this ID over here, right? And this particular ID you were extracting here into the JavaScript code. But if as a good programmer or better programming techniques if I talk about, then these things are not considered as the best practice. Reason behind this, that it is said that in your JavaScript code these things are open, right? Anybody can access it and do the modifications on this. So it is better that you should keep all these things inside one particular object. This is one reason. Another reason is you will be having different layers, right? And different layers will be communicating with each other. So let us say this particular layer is considered as a data layer, and the layer that is supposed to be communicating with this particular layer is going to be a user interface layer, right? Or the handlers object. So what you will be doing in this particular case, basically you should have another object where that particular object should communicate with this particular issue list object. So how basically we will be working on this, let me show you this. So let me create one variable, and this variable name is handlers, and this is basically the object, right? Now inside this particular object, say how basically you will be working. So what actually your job, what basically you want to do, right? So here basically we want to do that. Here we should have one method that is going to call the display issues method. So how we can do this particular thing, we have already created this display issues. So let me just copy this, put it over here. Now see what this particular display issues is all about. This is basically a function, right? And this particular function will do what? It is going to call this display issues function, okay, of the issue list. So this way, if you will be calling this particular thing, you can understand that this much of code is not required, right? We can just safely remove this. Now the question is how you will be calling this, because previously we were accessing the reference of this these buttons, and then on the buttons we were adding the event listener, right? But right now we don't have reference, so how we are going to call these methods? So it is very simple. You will be directly accessing the event on your button. So how basically it happens? It is very simple. Say you can have this on click event. This is the events which are already available on the button. So here what you can do, you can go inside this handlers, you can call this handlers, and here you will say that on handlers I would like to call which method? Display issues method. So this particular method you will be calling from here, and you will be putting over here. So this is the display issues method. Okay, now let us do one thing. Let us refresh this and let me click on display issues. Now here you can see this display issues is coming over here, right? This particular method is working. It means that my action has been connected with the button itself, right? So that handler is basically working right now. Now the next thing is we want to work onto the toggle all. So see how basically you will be working onto the toggle all as well. So we can do one thing. We'll be having one, or let's say, let me just copy the whole thing from here, and let me just replace this, and here we will be having the toggle all method. So let me create the toggle all. This is going to be a method. Okay, so how basically you will be working on this? Again, go here, you will be having one toggle all method, and this is going to be a function again, and this function is going to call basically issue list dot display issues method. Okay, so let us take it here. So this way I think you would have understood what basically we have done. Okay, so let us remove these things from here. These things are done. Okay, now let me just close all these things. These are not necessary things for me. Yeah, so now from here, as you can see, we have toggle all, and inside the toggle all we are calling, okay, this display issue should not be called, it should call the toggle all method. Okay, save everything. Now go here, save everything as well, come back, and here let us save everything. Now let us do one thing, let us call the issue list dot add issue method, and inside this just put these methods, issue list dot add issue, and put second issue into this. Okay, clear everything. Now just click on display, so it is displaying, click on toggle all, so it is toggling, right? So it means that my UI is started working on this. Let me do one more thing, like let me create one entry over here where you will be having the issue, right, which you like from here, this console you are using for adding the issues, right? So I do not want to do this. I want to create one control over here, one button will be there, so whenever you will be typing anything into this, and if you click onto the button, this particular issue will be going inside the list. So let us understand that how we will be creating this particular thing. Okay, so we can do one thing, like we can have one line break over here, and we will be having division section. Inside the division will be having input and button. Okay, so right now as you can see over here, so we have input, we have button, and this is the division section. So inside the, this is going to be the text type, so placeholder I will be putting like enter issue. Okay, and I would like to give one ID, and this ID is going to be like, let's say for example, this is going to be the issue text. Okay, let me make it very simple. So it is going to be the issue text, right? Now from here I want to add this particular issue, and here I will have to call one particular method. So let me just take this particular process here also, right? And this is going to be the add issue. Okay, now why, how this is going to work, try to understand. You will be having this add issue. Let me just save everything over here. Now come here, you will be having the add issue method. Okay, and you know that this is going to be a function. Now what basically you want to do into this particular function, you want to call the, this issue text reference. Okay, so copy this particular code from here, and now create one variable, have this issue text, and say document dot get element by id. So I think you would have understood the reason of explaining you these concepts previously. Okay, so this is the issue text that you have taken. Now from here what you want to do, basically you will be having this, see you have add issue method, right? And inside the add issue you need to provide the new issue that you want to pass. So whatever you will be adding onto this, let me do one thing, let me first save everything and let me show you the interface first. Okay, so when I go here, now we have this enter issue text box. So whatever I will be typing into this text box, that particular thing I would like to take as an input, and this particular input I would like to pass here as a text. Okay, so how we are going to do this particular thing, again it is very simple. You will be having this issue list, sorry, this is the issue list dot add issue, this method you want to call, and from here you want to pass this issue text dot value. Okay, so whatever will be there inside the this particular text box that you want to pass, and once it would have been added, now what you want to do, you want to have this issue text dot value, this value you want to keep it as blank. Okay, so this is what you will have to do over there. So till here I have done. This part is also done. Let me check whether I am able to add the issues or not. So let us reload this. Now from here, new issue 1. Okay, if I just click on add, now you can see my issue is added over here. Okay, one more issue. Now when you click on add, again one more issue is available. So when you click on toggle, this will be toggling as well. So this particular feature I hope you would have understood. Now in the next session we will be creating the remaining things, and that way you will be able to understand the whole process, that how your UI part will be communicating with the backend code. Okay, so thank you very much for this session.